Welcome back, you guys. I made a list of the 10 craziest wingspans in the NBA today. This is for players who are in the NBA right now, so no former players. There were a lot of close calls when narrowing it down to 10 players, because in this list I had to factor in the player's height with their wingspan. Like for example, Mason Plumlee has a 6'11" wingspan and is 7 feet tall. 6'11" is a huge wingspan in general, but compared to other NBA players that are around 7 feet tall, it's not as impressive. So let's get into the first player on my list. He's a point guard with a 6'9" wingspan, Rajon Rondo.
I'm legally blind, I can see, barely.
First on the list for craziest wingspans in the NBA isn't a power forward or a center, but a 6'1" point guard who has a 6'9" wingspan. Just to give some perspective, Russell Westbrook, who is listed as 2 inches taller than Rajon Rondo, has a 6'7" wingspan. So if you're doing the math, that means even though Rondo is 2 inches shorter than Westbrook, he has a wingspan 2 inches bigger. Now that helps him when he's defending other point guards, shooting guards, and even he can get it into the face of LeBron James. That 6'9" reach makes up for his short height as a player. He can create dribble pressure without defending too close. It also helps Rondo when he's defending passing lanes. I believe he led the league in steals in 2010. Rondo's wingspan is definitely out of the ordinary, and this will lead into another player with a crazy wingspan, Kawhi Leonard.
Look, I also got you this.
What is that?
A two-time Defensive Player of the Year, NBA Finals MVP, Kawhi Leonard's wingspan is listed at 7'3". Yes, 7'3". Just to give some perspective, Nerlens Noel, he plays for the Mavs now, he is listed at 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan. Kawhi is 4 inches shorter than him, and his wingspan is only an inch shorter. So when Kawhi is on the perimeter, it's like trying to score against a center who has the lateral quickness of a wing player. Just crazy. Where are they making these human beings at, bro? And speaking of centers, let's go into our first center on the list, Bismack Biyombo.
Batum. Oh, Marvin! Bring it!
He dead, bro.
Damn, I hate that it had to be Bismack to get posterized like that. But Bismack is doing well for himself. He's getting paid $17 million a year to play pro basketball, and a lot of that has to do with his height and wingspan. Bismack is a 6'9" center, slightly undersized, but his wingspan is listed at 7'6". Again, where are they making these human beings, man? 7'6" wingspan. This will help him recover on defense, rotate, play help defense. If Bismack is guarding a quicker center or he switches onto a guard, he can use that 7-foot wingspan to his advantage to recover, block a shot, contest a shot. He can do a bunch of things with it. Let's go into the next player on our list, Reggie Jackson. The second point guard on the list, we got Reggie Jackson, who is listed at 6'3" with a 7-foot wingspan. 7 foot. That's a bigger wingspan than Blake Griffin and Kelly Olynyk, and they have like 7 or 8 inches on him. Yeah, that's all I got to say there. So let's move on to our next center, DeAndre Jordan. Between the 2013 and 2016 seasons, he had averaged 2 blocks per game, and like every other center on this list, his wingspan is why he's able to make big time defensive plays, blocks, and he can reach super far back when Chris Paul throws him a tough alley-oop pass. His wingspan is listed at 7'6", and he is 6'11" tall, so about the same as Anthony Davis. As long as his body stays healthy, we're going to be seeing Anthony Davis on the All-NBA first teams for years to come. AD's wingspan is listed at 7'5½", so almost 7'6", right up there with Bismack Biyombo. He's probably the best player in the NBA right now, under 25 years old. Davis is having a crazy individual season, 28 points per game, almost 12 boards per game, 2 blocks, not to mention he's also getting better at shooting threes. A 7'1" center from France, Rudy Gobert has a 7'8" wingspan, and his standing reach is 9'7". That wingspan helps him out a lot, and he's become one of the better defenders in the league. He leads the NBA in blocks. The Jazz are the 4th seed with one of the best team defenses in the league. Gobert is the last line of defense for the Jazz, making key blocks and shot contests. It's just really hard to make a layup over a guy who's that tall and has a standing reach of 9'7". Overall, he's averaging 13 points and 12 boards on 65% shooting, and he's probably going to make both All-NBA and All-NBA defense. Definitely the best season of Gobert's career. He doesn't really play much for the Raptors at all. His per-game numbers are really low, and he hasn't played a minute since January 13th. Actually, I think he's in the D-League right now. But this is about as crazy as a wingspan as you can get. Bruno is 6'9", with a 7'7" wingspan, 7'7". There's not really much to talk about this guy, except he has a huge wingspan. So let's just go into the next player. These are Hassan Whiteside's NBA draft measurements. He is 6'10.5" without shoes, 6'11.5" with shoes, and his wingspan is at 7'7", so the same as Bruno. This is on the site Draft Express. You can check it out. Basically, every NBA player's draft measurements are on there. I believe he's top 5 in the league in block shots, number 1 in the league in rebounds, and the Heat are kind of cooking right now. They're at the 8th seed at the moment. They have the 6th ranked defense in the NBA. About a couple weeks left in the season. I hope they get in, man. A Heat Celtics or Heat Cavs matchup will be pretty enjoyable to watch. I almost left him off the list, but we got JaVale McGee on here. Backup center for the Warriors. He's doing his thing. He's 7 feet tall with a 7'6" wingspan.
No days off!
Don't mind the 2K footage, but that's my list of 10 players with crazy wingspans. Here are my honorable mentions and people I barely left off. So we had Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Dwight Howard, and Jeremy Lamb. Did you know Jeremy Lamb has a 6'10" wingspan? I honestly had no idea. I think I got the 10 guys whose wingspans are impressive when comparing it to their height. But of course, if you guys have any disagreements with anyone on the list, let me know in the comment section and who I should have put on there. So if you made it this far to the end of the video, show some love on that like button. I'm going to get into more current NBA topics, but sometimes I'll do random top 10 or top 5 lists like this. And shout out to everybody who came from the Devin Booker video. I got 1,000 or so new subscribers, so shout out to you guys and all the people who were here before that. So I'll see you guys in my next upload.